Hello, Peter Bloggins here.
Oh, hello there!
Answering another question from people that they've sent in. This next question is another good one. Is another interesting one. It made me think and sort of self-reflect a little bit. So I quite enjoyed thinking about this one. It's what would be the advice / comfort you would give yourself at the ages of 5, 10 and 15? So it's quite, it sort of required a little bit of reflection and thinking. So yeah, it was a good one. And it's going to be a bit corny and cliche, this first bit. It's a bit more of an overarching kind of theme, and that is just that things get better. For a lot of my childhood and early teens, and even into my 20s a little bit, I sort of really struggled. Just everything, life generally. So I guess I just would want my younger self to know that things get better, and things are getting better still. I feel like I'm finally on the right path now, I think. Doing these sorts of videos and helping people out and answering questions, I think this is something I want to do regularly, and to be a resource for people, and to help people out, and to help people get information. So I would probably, I know it's cheesy or whatever, but I feel like it applies really. So I mean, at 5, I was quite ill when I was younger. I had I think it's an autoimmune disease called Henoch-Schönlein, and I was quite badly ill for about 18 months or so. And I needed some quite intensive medical treatment, and it was fairly unpleasant, probably an understatement. I could go into a whole long story here, but it really badly affected my kidneys, or one of them at least, to the point where I needed blood and part of my kidney taken out and all that. But that's probably a separate story. If anyone wants to know, you can always ask. So I'd probably let 5-year-old me just know that everything's going to be safe. Everything's going to be all right, and that they survive, and this is just one hurdle that not many people have to go through, and it's just unfortunate that it happened, really, but it is what it is. At 10, I'd only been recently diagnosed with dyspraxia, so I think I'd probably had, I still didn't feel like I felt in, or felt that I fit in, I should say. I kind of had questions about myself and life, and why I was so different, and how do I approach life, knowing deep down that I'm not the same as the others. I'd probably tell 10-year-old me to, be, don't hide who you are, be proud of who you are, and, you know, work hard and try your best to communicate with others. And but if people don't accept you for being you, then that's their problem more than anything else. And stand up for yourself. And if you're having a problem, make yourself heard and communicate to people that you're struggling and what you're thinking. And be don't be afraid to stick out a little bit, because if you just keep everything quiet, then people are going to assume that nothing's wrong, and that that people shouldn't worry about you or whatever. And that's not necessarily true. You should be able to ask for help when you need it. So at 15, so that was probably just 2.5 years after my autism diagnosis, or Asperger's syndrome as it was back then. I know it's not that now, but again, I probably was still trying to figure out everything and how this label affected how the world would see me, or how it affected me, or did it affect who I was, or stuff like that. Because I still felt very much out of place, and like I wasn't where I was supposed to be, and I felt like I was supposed to be, I don't know, I can't really think how to express it really. I just felt really out of place and, out of control really. I felt like I was being, moved down a path that I was still trying to figure out if I wanted to be on, I was told, autistic people are good at maths and science and IT, and I was, I sort of did those things thinking that it would make other people happy. And, not necessarily what I wanted to do, particularly. I think people saw that I liked the CSI shows, and, those crime dramas where, at a click of a couple of buttons, they were able to figure out all of the evidence and stuff like that, those types of shows. And people saw that and told me, oh, do forensic science then. Even though I wasn't really that interested in the science, I was just more interested in the TV shows. So I guess for 15-year-old me, I would say, choose your own path, and, be more expressive about what you want to do, and, communicate why you want to do it and how you think you can get to your end goal, and, to make a plan. Don't just go, oh, there's an end goal, I'll get there, however, whenever. Because I think I spent a lot of energy and time studying things I wasn't majorly interested in, or doing things to please other people. So I never felt like I was thriving, or felt like I was doing something that I wanted to do. So to my 15-year-old self, I'd probably say, pick, plan where you want to go and be decisive about it, rather than just go, I'll go do that because other people told me that that's what I should do. And commit to it, commit to what you want to do, and do it with your full energy, really. I guess still I'd want to tell them, to learn to communicate that I'm struggling or feeling burnt out, or be a bit more confident that about expressing that I'm feeling burnt out or I'm not feeling particularly good, or so it's okay to have my own opinions, and for say tell people that I appreciate your advice, but it's not something that I'm particularly interested in, or this is what I think, this is what I want to do, here's my plan. So I think that's probably what I'd tell 51-year-old me. I think that's pretty much it, really. What advice would I give myself at 5, 10 and 15? Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. It was a bit long, this one, I know. But yeah, see you in the next one.